हरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज कयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताई जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महान ग्रंथ करन को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज। आज हम मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक प्रारंभ करने जा रहे हैं और अभी जो हमने मंगलाचरण किया वो मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक जी ग्रंथ का ही था। हम शुरू करें मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक उसके पहले कुछ बातें बतानी है। मैं अभी थोड़ा एलसीपीए सबके देख रहा था तो कुछ चैप्टर्स जो हमने पहले पढ़े हैं सेमिस्टर में तत्वज्ञान पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 और 10 लक्षण धर्म, तो उसमें से कुछ चैप्टर्स मैं रिपीट करना चाहूंगा। तो वो अपन क्या करेंगे कि एवरी फ्राइडे को, अब ये फ्राइडे को तो अपना क्लास होगा वो मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक का ही होगा, लेकिन नेक्स्ट वीक से हम लोग फ्राइडे को एक एक्स्ट्रा क्लास रखेंगे जिनको ऑप्शनल रखेंगे। आ, उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं होगी, सिंपली जो भी अटेंड करना चाहें वो कर सकते हैं। तो उसमें हम थोड़े चैप्टर्स रिवाइज करना चाह रहे हैं। और दूसरा एक प्लान मेरा यह है कि अभी जो नया गणधर होगा वो गणधर भी मैं उसमें से कुछ चैप्टर करने दूंगा, ठीक है, कुछ स्टूडेंट को, और फिर कुछ तो मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक से करेंगे अपन। तो इस तरह से थोड़ा रिवीजन भी हो जाएगा और कुछ क्लैरिटी नहीं है तो और भी क्लैरिटी हो जाएगी। तो ऐसे में कम से कम 5-6 चैप्टर तो रिपीट करना चाहता हूँ। वो मैं कल लिस्ट बना के बताऊंगा फ्राइडे को आपको। फ्राइडे को भी अपना क्लास है इधर। एक्चुअली आज तो 9 बजे से था क्लास, आई थिंक।
8:45, you said, sir.
I said so you have joined, but
Yeah.
originally it was 9 to 10 on Wednesday, I suppose. But on Friday, we are anyway going to join at 8:45 to 10. Friday, okay? This Friday only. Then next week onwards, Tuesday and Wednesday, as usual, we are doing our classes. And Friday, we will have an additional classes, which will not be recorded, but it will be primarily a revision of the previous few chapters where there is ambiguity, there is no clarity among students, which I have observed through your LCPA and CC. So we will repeat those few chapters. But one thing is sure, language is immaterial, but you should have clear concept clarity. The principles, the fundamental principles, that all should be very clear. The relationship between substance, attributes, and modification should also be very clear. Then only you can go further up into new topics, because these are basics. So if you don't have clarity on this, then you will do some mistake here and there. And ultimately, you will not be able to realize what we are planning for, So my utmost request that not only attending the classes, but you have to read yourself also. At least once you can revise those classes. And if you have any ambiguity or if you're not clear about anything, you can always ask. So depending on your questions, I will try to make it as simple as we can. But you have a responsibility to revise it and understand it. Okay. And whenever you answer, you refer the textbook. Always you refer the textbook. Because sometimes when we give answers from our own mind and thought process, then we might do silly mistakes or some gross mistakes also in some cases. So it is better, even if you know it, you just check out with the textbook. Even in objectives also, if you know the answer, still I would insist you check with the textbook. Because the trick is that much only, that one word here and there they do make changes, and then it is not easy to catch those mistakes, So they know it because they have done it, but you don't know it. So you feel that it is all correct, but there is some words here and there they have done alterations, which we are not able to identify, and that's why the mistakes happen and your marks gets cut. Okay, so next time onwards, even if you know the answer, you still check out with the textbook. That is one thing you have to make sure. So this Granth Moksha Marg Prakashak, I would say this is the heart of Paramagam Honors course. And of course, Samay Sir is the brain of Paramagam Honors course. So these two scriptures are very, very important. Moksha Marg Prakashak is not complete, but still the way the things have been presented here in this text, teaches us how to read through the text, how to get into the minds of acharyas who have written these scriptures, and how to analyze things. So these are some of the teachings that Todramalji has given to us, and because of only that, we are able to you can all listen to me, no? Okay. So somebody is having some problem. Okay. So you sort out, you again exit and join again. I would say. Sasikala.
No, Jai Jinendra, I got it, sir. Some.
Okay, fine.
How are you? After
yeah,
a long time to meeting is nice.
Yes. So we'll continue with this Moksha Marg Prakashak. It's a very good scripture written by Pandit Todramalji. Regarding Pandit Todramalji, you have read in Vitrag Vigyan and of course Tattva Gyan also. So I'm not repeating the story of Pandit Todramalji, but at least you know that he was a householder and he had two sons, and he was born in 1719 or 20 Common Era. The era which we are living right now, the Common Era, it is called the Common Era. Earlier it was called AD, after the death of, Christ. So this is English calendar. So according to English calendar, it is 1719 or 1720 Common Era, the birth date. And the death was in 1766 or 67 AD. That's why we are now celebrating 300 years of Pandit Todarmalji's birth anniversary. And this is how his life was. Such a short life, but in such a short life, he had that rare, I would say, very rarest of rare talent, to understand the big scriptures. And he not only studied Jainism deeply, but he had also studied all the other religions deeply. And that's why he was able to find faults where they have faltered, which logic they have given wrongly. These are all very well explained in the 5th chapter, which is one of the biggest chapter in this whole Mokshamarg Prakashak, and which is not a part of our syllabus because it's generally deal with other religious sects, so that we are skipping anyways as far as our syllabus is concerned. But if you have time, you should read through this, then you will have enough logic power. And like if you are entering into a debate with other people of different religions, then you will always have an advantage because you know what is there in their religion. So Todarmalji has depicted all those faults very nicely, and that was one of the reasons why the people at that point of time, contemporary people, they all instigated the king that Todarmalji is finding faults in our religion and all. And that's why the king, who was not a Jaini, he ordered Todarmalji's death. And then you know that story, that elephant was supposed to kill Todarmalji, and he was not raising his feet. Then Todarmalji said that you do your job, like I am quite okay with that. This story has come in the comics. If you have seen some of the comics in Jainism, this story is part of that comic. And there's a very famous song which became more famous during Sanjeevji Goda's death. It was written by Vivekji Chindwada, Pandit Vivekji Chindwada. It was like something like that. Hum rahe na rahe, Jain dharm rehna chahiye. So that was actually, that song was dedicated to Pandit Todarmalji, how he put his life at risk to spread the truth. What is truth? To spread the truth. He even found faults with other religions, and he wrote everything there in the 5th chapter of this. And because of this, the other religious sects people were annoyed, and that's why they instigated the king to kill Pandit Todarmalji. So we can say that he played with his life just for the sake of spreading the truth of Jainism. So, this scripture is incomplete, but still, whatever is available is enough for us to continue ahead and learn the way how the scriptures has to be understood. We all have English textbook, and I have also shared the PDF, and Aditi ji today shared only the chapter 1. So it was, I think, 14 pages in all, 2 pages in 1 page. So 14 pages in all. You can always take a printout. It will be nice if you take a printout. Then otherwise, you can take out the printout of the whole book. Anyway, we are going to study 2 chapters at a time for 3-4 semesters, and then 7th and 9th chapter, we are going to do it separately. So
Just from printout point of view, it was just turning out to be easier if you take 2 chapters, because otherwise it becomes very thick book.
Right.
For
That
everybody.
also is there.
Plus, it
But-
is not.
But apart
for
from
other
this
people.
course, you need to have this book in your library any point of time.
Hmm.
So the people who are in Bombay, people who are in India, they can easily get it couriered at their place, and those who are living abroad, they can get it couriered to any of their acquaintance address, and then when they come to India, they can pick up.
I
And-
ordered, sir, but I didn't have any message from them. Book.
How long ago you ordered?
More than 10 days before, sir.
So just wait, no, at least it takes, sometimes it takes 1 month also.
Oh,
So
last
it
time
will-
immediately I got
What
it.
happens,
that's why.
okay, at this point of time, many people
Okay,
order
okay,
books
they are busy.
simultaneously, and so maybe it will
Yeah,
take some time,
so-
but it will definitely come.
I
Who have
will
received
wait.
the books?
I will wait, no? Instead of printing, I'll wait and see, no?
Yes, you wait. How many of you have received the books?
The Jaini ji has received, but Jaini ji has got everything in Hindi. She has not got a single English book.
Oh, so she must have opted Hindi
No,
option.
she had opted for English.
Okay. So I'll give you one number of Jaipur,
Hmm.
and you can contact that fellow directly and tell him the situation and the truth. Then
Hmm.
he might help us.
Hmm.
Otherwise, at least other books which are ordered in English, that should be in English only.
So for her, she has got all semester 3 and semester 4, all books in
Hindi.
Hindi only.
So that he can return, and whatever is available in English, we can have
So
it
that
in
is why
Hindi.
today at least I shared the first chapter so that those who have not got books and want to take printout should not take printouts.
Right.
everything.
That's a good idea. So in this semester, what subjects you have? I'll just have a look at it.
Chodala is there.
Chadala is there, right? Okay, then. So Chadala we have in English. Moksha Prakasaka is in English.
Bara Bhavana, I think. Ram Kahani.
Bara Bhavana. Ram Kahani we have translated in English. It is almost ready. We will have access to that translated version. And Bara Bhavana, I think, is also available in English.
Sir, Acha. Jai Singh, that song, that only or another one? The Bara Bhavana book is there. Huh?
Bara Bhavana is a comprehensive study of Bara Bhavana, and it
Mhm.
includes at least 15-20 Bara Bhavana.
Oh,
So
okay.
Jaichandji Chhabda you studied last sem, okay? And this will continue, in this Bara Bhavana, you will have at least 15 to 20 references.
So book is there. Book is
Yeah,
there.
there is an exclusive book, English book is there.
That I share the number, sir. You have told no some number. You said you will share some number. You will give some number to contact Jaipur.
That is the Jaipur one, but right now, if that book is available or not, but we'll get you the PDF. So you have to either take a print out if it is not there in stock. Okay.
No problem.
I'll check out everything tomorrow and let you know by Friday everything, So we have to streamline this
And-
ordering of books, and
Contact number also you said no, you will give. No,
yeah,
that
I
also
will give
there.
one personal mobile number,
Yeah.
the one who was handling the
Yeah, thank
books
you.
department, and like you can have direct access.
Dhanyawad.
So we begin this book. The name of the book is Moksh Marg Prakashak in Hindi. In English, it is called Illuminator of the Path of Liberation. Okay. Prakashak is illuminator. Moksh Marg is path of liberation. So Moksh ka Marg Prakash karne wale. That means the illuminator of the path of liberation. So we all want to get liberated, right? And this scripture shows us the path. So there can be nothing good than this, that what we want is what we are getting. So Todarmalji has written this book, and this chapter 1 is a prologue. Okay. It will include some of the introductory concepts, and of course, what is going to come ahead in the whole book, that also will be included in the first chapter. So first is the Manglacharan, the benediction. You can see in Hindi it is written. I'll make you a co-host. 1 minute. Sesta is yours, no? Okay. So now you are a co-host. You can share the PDF. Mangalamay Mangal Karan Vitaraag Vigyan Namo Tahi Jate Bhaye Arihanta Di Mahan Kari Mangal Kari Ho Maha ग्रंथ करण को काज जाते मिले जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. वितराग विज्ञान. What is this वितराग विज्ञान? The science of non-attachment or the science of passionlessness. This is called Vitrag Vigyan. Is all blissful and cause of bliss. So the science of non-attachment, if you study this science and if you learn this science, then it is all blissful and cause of blissful. सुखरूप है और सुख का कारण, मंगलमय है और मंगल करण, मंगल करने वाला है. So it is all blissful and cause of bliss. नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंत आदि महान. I bow to that science by virtue of which the Arhantas and Siddhas, omniscient gods, have attained the supreme state. Okay, so how this Arihanta and Siddhas they attain the supreme state? Because they followed, they learned the science of how to get non-attachment. Okay, they learned the science of non-attachment. They learned the science of how to attain passionlessness state. Okay, and this passionlessness state is all blissful and cause of bliss. So Totamal here says, I bow to that science, that technology, that knowledge, by virtue of which the Arhantas and Siddhas have attained the supreme state. Then Kari Mangal Kari Ho Maha Granth Karan Ko Kaj. Why I am writing the scriptures? The logic behind writing the scriptures. Having made obeisance, I, Todarmal, endeavor to write this sacred book, which may be instrumental. We have recently studied this chapter in very deep, instrumental cause and eternal cause, all this. So by which may be instrumental. Instrumental means nimit. In the manifestation of all spiritual traits. Spiritual traits means character, characteristics, charitra, manifestation of all spiritual traits and help achieve the state of self-rule. जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. So this is this sacred book will be instrumental in the manifestations of all spiritual traits. जाते मिले समाज सब means here it means Samaj means not the community that we live in. Here Samaj means the different kind of attributes that a substance possesses. Okay. So they achieve this, the different types of attributes that are there in the substance, the modification of those, that is what is meant by Jate Mile Samaj Sab. So you will get all these manifested in your modification, all the good qualities, Pave Nijpat Raj, and then it will help achieve the state of self-rule. Self-rule matlab Nijpad Raj. You yourself is a soul, and you are where you exist, there only your rule is being followed, Pave Nijpad Raj. So this is what you will achieve, the state of self-rule. Now, what is this rule all about? This rule states that you are by default a knower and seer. Okay. And if you remain so, you have achieved self-rule. Okay. But if you become a doer, then the delusion will take hold of you, will get better of you, and you will suffer in the fourth state of existence in this universe. So if you want to get rid of this life and death cycle, then you must manifest this passionlessness state. Okay. Vitrag Vidyanta. You should learn the science of manifesting passionless state. Now begins the sacred book titled Moksha Marg Prakashak, Illuminator of the Path of Liberation. The hymn of adoration follows. So now this is Namokar mantra. Namo Arhantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airyanam, Namo Uvajjanam, Namo Loye Savvasanam. This is Namaskar mantra. We have studied this in detail in Balbodh when we started, So this is Namaskar mantra, benedictory incantation in Prakrit language. So this Namaskar mantra is written in Prakrit language and is extremely blissful. Extremely blissful, how it is, if you follow the path shown by this Panch Parmeshtis, then you will experience this happiness. Okay. So in this way, you will become extremely blissful. Its Sanskrit version is as follows. So this is written in Prakrit, and in Sanskrit it is like Namo Arhat Bhaya, Namo Siddhebhya, Namo Acharyabhya, Namo Upadhyayabhya, Namo Loke Sarva Sadhubhya. Its meaning is thus: obeisance to Arihant gods, adorable, embodied omniscience. Okay, they are omniscient. They have manifested complete knowledge, but still they are having a body. Then next is in line is obeisance to Siddh gods. Obeisance means respect, respect. We are paying respect. Liberated, disembodied, omniscience. Those Siddh gods have got liberated. So they don't have any types of karma, and they don't have any type of bodies also. They have manifested all the qualities, the purity of all the qualities. So they got liberated. Then the third one is obeisance to acharyas. Acharyas are chief preceptors of congregation of ascetic monks. Congregation means Sangh, Muni Sangh, congregation of ascetic monks. The Muni Sangh, the Muni Raj, they have a Sangh, and that is called congregation. And Acharyas are the chief preceptors. Okay. So they have this admin quality in them, and they manage the whole Sangh, Acharyas. Then the next in line is obeisance to Upadhyay. Teacher monk, those who preaches in the congregation are called Upadhyayas. So teacher monks and preceptors. So they are called teacher monks. Those were ascetic monks. The acharyas were the chief preceptors. Now these are teacher monks. Last is obeisance to all sadhus. Common category, monks, completely possessionless naked monks. Completely possessionless. Internal possession is also not there, and external possession is also not there. So they are devoid of all the 24 possessions, and they are naked monks. They don't have anything on their body as a cloth, no clothes are there, so they are completely naked. Completely possessionless naked monks in the universe. Okay. So obedience to all sadhus in the universe. So it is written that Namo Loye Sausanam. Namo Loke Sarva Sadhubhya. So lok में जितने भी साधु है उनको नमस्कार किया है. But it is not only for the sadhus. This obeisance is applicable to all the four before: Arhanta, Siddha, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and Sadhu. Thus, in this mantra, the obeisance Namaskar is offered. Hence, it is called Namaskar mantra. Now we ponder over their distinguishing characteristic, differentias. Okay. So now we will be studying what is the actual characteristics of Arhantas, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyayas, and Sadhus. And through these characteristics, we can differentiate also how Arhant is different from Siddha, how Acharyas are different from ordinary Sadhus. So all this will come to know through these characteristics of each, So first one is characteristics of Arhantas. Okay. So Darshit ji, you read.
Jai Jinendra. Okay, characteristics of Arahants. First, we ponder over the characteristics of the Arahants. He, the true believer, who having renounced the householder's life and accepted monk's conduct, ascetic life, has destroyed the four gati karmas, which are the obscuring karmas, through immersion in one's own soul's intrinsic nature, and in him are manifested the highest attributes of four infinites. Through infinite knowledge, Anant Gnan, which is omniscience, he knows directly, clearly all substances, Jeev, etc., simultaneously together with their infinite attributes and modifications. Through infinite perception, Anant Darshan, omniperception, perceives all these substances in general, undifferentiatedly. Through infinite energy, Anant Virya, he always holds such potency of knowing and seeing. Through infinite bliss, Anant Sukh, he experiences imperturbable supreme bliss of beatitude. Further, who has attained the state of perfect serenity and peace by freeing oneself from all sorts of impure dispositions, like attachment, aversion, etc., and has achieved the state of supreme God, of gods by becoming free from hunger, thirst, etc., birth, death, etc., all sorts of physical maladies, and whose body has turned into a supernatural Odaric body having no weapon or clothing, and is devoid of censurable signs and symptoms of sex feeling, anger, etc., foul dispositions and emotions, and by whose sermons the Dharma Tirth, the conduction of true religious path, prevails in the universe, by means of which the mundane beings attain welfare of the self, and who is found possessing different glories, wonders, and greatnesses, which are the cause for worldly people to believe in his supreme lordship, and who is adored by the great personages like Indras, which are the heavens gods, and Gandhars, the highest rank of monks' order, etc., for their own spiritual benefit. Thus, adorable in all respects is Sri Arhant Dev, to him, I, Todarmal, offer my salutation.
Hmm.
Should I carry on?
No, this let's understand this first. The characteristics of Arhantas. Okay, these are all different characteristics of Arhantas are mentioned, but there are so many points in this one paragraph, so we have to understand it one by one. So the first we ponder over the characteristics of the Arhant. Okay. So ponder over the characteristics, and when we come to Siddha, we meditate on the characteristics of Siddhas. The first line, if you compare, here it is, we ponder over the characteristics of the Arhant. So here the Pandit Todamalji is encouraging us to think how a Arhant would be. And in case of Siddhas, he just simply says we meditate on the characteristics of Siddhas. Because Siddhas are in place of our pure soul. Siddhas are comparable with our pure soul. Siddh Bhagwan does not have any types of karmas. Dravya karma, that is material karma. Bhav karma, that is toxic emotions. And no karma, quasi karma. Okay. So Siddh Bhagwan has got rid of all the karmas, and our pure soul right now is devoid of all these three types of karmas. So we can draw a comparison of our soul with Siddh Bhagwan. It both goes parallel. But when we talk of Arhant Bhagwan, then Arhant Bhagwan has a body. Okay. So then Arhant Bhagwan can also be comparated. You can also compare Arhant Bhagwan with our state, just because we also have a body and Arhant Bhagwan also have a body. Okay. So here it is written, first we ponder over the characteristics of the Arhant. He, the true believer. So true believer means what stage of spiritual development he is in? Can anybody say?
Fourth stage.
Yes.
Mid,
We have read this chapter of
fourth stage.
Gunasthan,
Yeah.
14 stages of spiritual development.
Avriti Samyak Drishti.
So true believer is in the fourth stage. Okay. So these are the steps by which a person can become Aryan. So first what he has to do? He has to be a true believer. Okay. The one who has realized his soul, the one who has experienced his soul, he is a true believer. And his spiritual stage is fourth stage. Who, having renounced the householder's life. So when he was in the house, he was in the fourth stage. Now he wants to advance and go ahead in the spiritual stages of development. So now he has renounced the householder's life. So he has not only left his home, but the belief that he is a householder, that belief also he has relinquished. Okay, he's not having that belief that I am a householder. He believes that he is now he has relinquished his householder's life and he has accepted monk's conduct. So now he has become a monk. Accepted monk's conduct, ascetic life. So now the same householder has now become a monk, and now after becoming a monk, what he has done to get to the stage of Aryan, he has destroyed the 4 ghati karmas, 4 obscuring karmas. Okay, so ghati karma is obscuring karmas, and aghati karma is non-obscuring karmas. So this monk has destroyed 4 ghati karmas, obscuring karmas, through immersion in one's own soul's intrinsic nature. So what he has done? He became a monk, and after becoming a monk, he started concentrating on the self. Okay, through immersion in one's own soul's intrinsic nature. So now he is focusing in himself only. He is not looking at any of the other things that are being reflected in his knowledge. He is only focusing on his self. On his self means on his soul. And in this way, he has destroyed the 4 obscuring karmas. Through immersion in one's own soul's intrinsic nature, and in him are manifested. What are the qualities that has been manifested? The highest attributes of 4 infinites. So he has destroyed 4 ghati karmas, and in lieu of that, he has manifested 4 infinites. Now, what are these 4 infinites? Ananta Gyan, Ananta Darshan, Ananta Sukh, and Ananta Virya. Okay. So Ananta Gyan is infinite knowledge. Through infinite knowledge, Ananta Gyan, omniscience, he knows directly, clearly, all substances, Jeev, etc. So Jeev, Pudkal, Dharm, Adharm, Akash, Kal, simultaneously, together with their infinite attributes and modification. So we are talking about omniscience knowledge, Keval Gyan, you know. So in his omniscience knowledge, he knows directly, not with the help of any of the sensory objects, sensory and any of the senses. He knows directly, clearly, all substances simultaneously together with their infinite attributes and modifications. Okay. So the one who has omniscience knowledge, he knows all the substances along with their infinite attributes and modification. So this is the basically the function of infinite knowledge. Now next is infinite perception. So through this infinite perception, what he knows? Through this infinite perceptions means Ananta Darshan, which is also called omni-perception. So what he does through this omni-perception? Perceives all these substances in general. So if he knows is specific, then it becomes a knowledge. And before this knowledge, it is still a perception. So in perception, he knows all these substances in general. So he is not able to differentiate between self and non-self. He knows that there exist some substances. That's all. But he cannot differentiate. If he differentiate, then it becomes a knowledge. So now this is only a perception. So in bracket it is written undifferentiatedly. So this was the second one. First one is Ananta Gyan. The second is Ananta Darshan. The third one, Anant Virya, through infinite energy. Anant Virya, he always holds such potency of knowing and seeing. So through this Anant Virya, he holds that potential, the power of knowing and seeing. And the last one, through infinite bliss, Anant Sukh, he experiences imperturbable, imperturbable, okay, imperturbable, supreme bliss of beatitude. Okay. So this Anant Sukh, since he has destroyed the 4 Ghati karmas, he has manifested these 4 types of infinite knowledge. Okay. So these are infinite knowledge, infinite perception, infinite virya or the infinite energy, and the last one is infinite bliss. Further, now, so he has destroyed these 4 karmas, Ghati karmas. Now what he does further? Further, who has attained the state of perfect serenity. So just because he has manifested these 4 infinite qualities in him, he has attained the state of perfect serenity. Absolutely calm, peaceful, and peace by freeing oneself from all sorts of impure dispositions like attachment, aversions. Okay. So by conquering these 4 obscuring karmas, he has attained the state of perfect serenity and peace by freeing oneself from all sorts of impure dispositions like attachment and aversions. So he has got rid of all kinds of attachment and aversions and has achieved the state of supreme God of gods by becoming free from hunger, thirst, etc., birth, death, etc. So there are 18 blemishes, you know. So he has got rid of all these 18 blemishes and he has become a supreme God. So he got free from all the 18 blemishes. This name of these 18 blemishes we already studied earlier in some chapters. I don't remember where, but you know all this. Trusha, Sudha, Bhay, Rog, Vismay, Janma, Jara, Mrityu, you know, all these 18 blemishes. Has achieved the state of supreme God of gods by becoming free from hunger, thirst, etc., birth, death, etc., all sorts of physical maladies, okay, and whose body has turned into a supernatural Parama Audaric body, okay. So his body, just because he has manifested these 4 infinite attributes, his body has turned supernatural, okay. Earlier it was like us, but now it has turned into a supernatural Param Audaric body. Param Audaric body means it does not contain any other insects or any other Nigodia jeev, no? Our body have millions of Nigodia jeev, all these WBC, RBC, white blood cells, red blood cells, all these cells are what? They are living organisms, they are all living organisms like us, and they are always present in our body. But when he got rid of all the karmas and he attained the Aryan state, his body turned into a supernatural Param Avadaric body having no weapon or clothing. Okay. So our gods does not keep any type of weapons, or he does not wear any type of clothes, and is devoid of sensurable signs and symptoms of sex, feeling, anger, etc. So he is devoid of all kinds of passions, we can say, in short. Foul dispositions or toxic emotions, and by whose sermons, okay? So we are talking of Aryant now, by whose sermons the Dharma Tirtha, the conduction of true religion path, prevails in the universe. So these Aryantas have a divine sound, okay? And through this divine sound, this religion of passionlessness is passed on to others. By whose sermons the Dharma Tirtha, the conduction of true religion path, prevails in the universe, by means of which the mundane beings attain welfare of the self. So, by means of which the mundane beings, Sansarik Jeev, attain welfare of the self, and who is found possessing different glories, wonders, and greatnesses which are the cause for worldly people to believe in his supreme lordship. Okay, so he has this Samosaran, and he has got this 8 pratiharyas, special instruments with him, and this made the worldly people to believe in his supreme lordship, and who is adored by the great personages like Indras, heaven's gods, and Gandharas, the highest rank of monks order, okay, etc., for their own spiritual benefit. So he is being adored by such great personalities like Indras and Gandhars. So you can imagine, if Indras and Gandhars bow to them, then what would be in the stage of Aryantas? And they do pay respect for their own spiritual benefit. Thus, adorable in all respect is Sri Aryanta Deva. To him I, Todarmal, offer my salutations. So these were all the characteristics of the Aryanta. So now you can make out how a Aryant would be. So when you say Namo Aryantanam next time, you should have all these characteristics in your mind. How Aryant has achieved this stage, He was just a householder like us, but renouncing the householder life, he became a monk, and after concentrating on the self for quite a long period, he achieved this omniscience knowledge, and after achieving this omniscience knowledge, he manifested this infinite knowledge, infinite perception, infinite energy, and infinite bliss. So this was all about Arhantas. Now we move on to characteristics of Siddhas. So Jainiji, you read this, Siddhas. Aditi, you can share the screen.
Characteristics of Siddhas or liberated souls.
Hmm.
Now we meditate on the
So you will have
characteristics.
to make me the host again because I had lost connection, no? That's why everything.
Oh, I didn't know that. 1 minute. Huh? Yeah, continue.
Characteristics of Siddhas, that is liberated souls. Now we meditate on the characteristics of Siddhas, liberated disembodied omniscience. He, the true believer, who having renounced the householder's life and by following the monk's conduct, has attained the four infinites, infinite knowledge, perception, bliss, and energy on destruction of four ghati karmas, obscuring karmas, and after lapse of some time, on destruction of the four aghati karmas, non-obscuring karmas, also quitting the supernatural body, he reached at the summit of the universe by virtue of upward motion, nature. There he attained the perfect liberated state by getting release from the association of all foreign substances, and whose soul's spatial units retained the shape of human form, that is, a little less than the final body, and whose counter effect, producing karmas, got destroyed. Hence, all spiritual attributes like right belief, knowledge, perception, etc., got fully manifested in their natural states, and whose attachment with no karmas, body, etc., has ended. Hence, the immateriality, etc., all spiritual traits got manifested, and whose bhav karmas, psychic impure dispositions like attachment, aversion, etc., are destroyed. Hence, the manifestation of imperturbable, wholly blissful form of pure self nature is continuing incessantly, and by whose meditation the capable souls, bhavya jeev, attain the discriminative knowledge of the self substance and non self substances and of alien impure dispositions evolving due to rise of karmas, and natural pure dispositions evolved in the absence of karmas, and by virtue of which the means of attaining siddhahood is achieved. Therefore, for attaining one's own pure nature, which is only worth attaining, they, the siddhas, serve as images for exhibiting it, and who have become kritkritya, attained the supreme attainable, hence continue to dwell in such a perfect blissful state infinitely. Our salutations to such accomplished siddhas.
Hmm. So Siddhas are one step ahead than the Aryanta. Aryanta have destroyed only 4 Ghati karmas, but Siddhas have destroyed all the 8 karmas. So we'll again read it line by line, and I would explain you each lines, So now the first line is, we meditate on the characteristics of Siddhas. So there it was, we ponder over the characteristics of the Aryant, and here it is, we meditate. Why we meditate? Because Siddhas are the characteristics of Siddhas, liberated, disembodied omniscience. Okay. So our pure soul is just like that. Just as Siddhas are devoid of all types of karmas, he is a pure energy body. Similarly, our soul is also a pure energy body, devoid of all karmas. So when we talk of pure soul, it is just as similar as Siddh Parmeshti. He, the true believer, again, the one who has achieved the fourth stage of spiritual development, who having renounced the householder's life and by following the monk's conduct has attained the four infinites, just like Aryanta. So before you get liberated, you become Aryant. Okay. So these are both common. So he has renounced the householder's life and become a monk and attained the four infinites: infinite knowledge, infinite perception, infinite bliss, and infinite energy. Ananta Gyan, Ananta Darshan, Ananta Sukh, Ananta Virya. On destruction of four ghati karmas, obscuring karmas. So this was up to the Arhant. Now, Siddhas are beyond Arhant. So, destruction of four ghati karmas, obscuring karmas, and now something extra. After lapse of some time, okay, so he achieves the Aryan state, and after lapse of some time, passing of some time, on destruction of the four aghati karmas. Now, how big this sometime could be? You know, there is this Simandar Paramatma presently in the Mahavideshetra. He has got a long age of 1 Koda Kodi Sagar. It's very huge age. So this is 5th era, then there will be 6th era, then again the reverse trend will start, again first 6th, then 5th, then 4th era, where the religion will begin here. And in that 4th era, when there will be 12th Tirthankar here in the Bharat Kshetra, at that point of time, the Simandar Paramatma will get liberated. So such a long time. So this sometime could be the next birth also, same birth also. It could be a long period also. So sometime is not defined clearly, but all the possibilities are there. And after lapse of some time, on destruction of the remaining four agati karmas, non-obscuring karmas, also quitting the supernatural body. So when he destroys the agati karmas, he quits the supernatural body. The body had become supernatural when he became a Aryanta. So now his body is not like us, but it is a supernatural body. Okay, Param Audarik Sharir. Quitting the supernatural body, he reached at the summit of the universe. Sid Sektra. Sid Sila par gaye. Okay. Sid Sila is the summit of this universe. By virtue of upward motion nature. So by soul's nature is moving upward. Okay. So by virtue of upward motion nature, there he attained the perfect liberated state. So he went to the summit, he reached the summit of the universe, and there he attained the perfect liberated state by getting release from the association of all foreign substances, and whose soul's spatial units retained the shape of human form. So generally, whatever the last birth, so either people get liberated by sitting on a Padmasan, it is called Padmasan, or it is Khadgasan, just like Bahubali. Bahubali got liberated because he was just standing, you know. So that is called Khadgasan. So there are only two ways to get liberated. One is Padmasan, which is the sitting posture, and the other is Khadgasan, the standing posture. Okay. So by virtue of upward motion nature, there he attained the perfect liberated state by getting release from the association of all foreign substances, and whose soul spatial units retain the shape of human form, that is a little less than the final body. So why it is little less, you know? One day I had given this logic. Can anybody recall? When a soul gets liberated, the last birth he has taken, the only the energy body remains, and that energy body is little less than the last human form. Why it is little less? Why not equal to the last human form?
It's because the body has gone.
Body
There's
has
no body.
gone, but why it contracted little bit? Why it is not of the same size as it was in the body? Now this Adinath Bhagwan had this height of 500 dhanush, which is a very big, okay? And Bhagwan Mahavir had a height of only 7 feet, right? So the soul of Adinath Bhagwan right now in the Siddh Sila will be that much big, 500 dhanush. And that of Mahavir Swami, who is also got liberated, that will be something less than the 7 feet height he was having. Why? Why this reduction, Because there are gaps in our nose and other parts of our body. So all those gaps are covered. Okay. And the whole concentrated, the energy body becomes fully concentrated. And that's why it is little less than the last human form that we have acquired. A little less than the final body, and whose counter effect producing karmas got destroyed. Okay. So 4 Ghati karmas already got destroyed when he became Aryant. And now these 4 non-obscuring karmas also got destroyed. Hence, all spiritual attributes like right belief, right knowledge, right perception got fully manifested in their natural states, and whose attachment with no karmas, okay, body, etc., has ended. So now there is no attachment with body, etc. Hence the immateriality, etc., all spiritual traits got manifested, and whose bhav karmas, psychic impure dispositions like attachment, aversions, etc., are destroyed. So no karma is destroyed, bhav karma is destroyed, and material karmas are also destroyed. Hence, the manifestation of imperturbable, wholly blissful form of pure self-nature is continuing incessantly, and by whose meditation the capable souls, Bhavya Jeev, the one who wants to get liberated or the one who will get liberated, these capable souls attain the discriminative knowledge. Okay. So when we talk of discriminative knowledge, it should be between 2 things. So between the self substance and non-self substance, and of alien impure dispositions. Okay. So there is discriminative knowledge between the self substance and the non-self substance, and of alien impure disposition, evolving due to rise of karmas, and natural pure disposition, evolved in the absence of karmas. So all kinds of disposition, whether it is impure or it is pure, it is devoid of all these things, and by virtue of which the means of attaining siddhood is achieved. So since he does not have a body, he does not have any kind of impure disposition, and he is practicing discriminative knowledge between the self and the non-self substances. Therefore, for attaining one's own pure nature, which is only worth attaining. What is worth doing right now? So right now, we need to have this knowledge, the science, the logics behind attaining our own soul. Okay. Therefore, for attaining one's own pure nature, which is only worth attaining, they, the Siddhas, serve as images for exhibiting it. Okay. So the Siddhas are just a replica of our pure soul. The pure soul does not have any type of karmas in it, and Siddhas also don't have any types of karmas in it. Serve as images for exhibiting it, and who have become Krit Kritya, attain the supreme attainable. So whatever has to be attained has already attained. So they have become Krit Kritya. Krit Kritya, is one who has nothing left to do. So he have achieved everything what he wants to achieve. Okay. And that is called Krit Kritya. Attain the supreme attainable. Hence continue to dwell in such a perfect blissful state infinitely. Our salutations to such accomplished Siddhas. So these Siddhas are one step ahead than the Aryantas. Aryantas have destroyed only 4 Ghati karmas, but Siddhas have destroyed 4 Aghati karma also. So Siddhas have destroyed all the karmas, whether it is material karma, dravya karma, or the bhav karma, the toxic emotions, or the no karma, the associated of body and other substances, all these has been destroyed, and he had attained Siddhood, Siddhadasha, okay, stage of Siddhas. So now this stage will remain permanently. They will not come back to the mundane existence again, and they will remain there. There will be no further birth. They have completely got rid of death and birth, and they got liberated. So after listening to Aryanta and Siddhas, we also feel that we also need to achieve this. This should be our objective in life, and we may not get the stage of Aryanta or Siddhas in this birth, but the journey continues. So maybe not in this birth, but in the next birth, not in next birth, then next to next birth. In short, within a span of very few births, we can say, compared to the number of births that we have taken since time immortal, these few births are very minuscule. In fact, it is not worth mentioning also. So we can also achieve liberated state,
So what is the meaning of Krit Kritya?
Krit Kritya means whatever has to be done has already been done. So there is nothing left to be done. No homework. No homework left. Whatever has to be done, they have done. They have manifested all the attributes in full. So now there is nothing left that has to be done in terms of path of liberation. Okay. So they have achieved this Krit Kritya state. Okay. Attain the supreme attainable. Okay. So they have attained the supreme attainable. So there is nothing beyond that, hence continue to dwell in such a perfect blissful state infinitely. So once we also got liberated, we will not come back to this mundane existence again. And we are all going to leave our family and all the wealth and everything. So we can start from today itself. Even if we are living in a family, we are living in a house, we are living along with our family members and the other possessions that we have, but still we can practice descriptive knowledge and we can realize that our soul is always different from all these things. Okay. So the soul never got attached with all these things. They were just at the same place. That's all. But there is no correlation between the two. Our soul is purely independent. And once we realize ourselves to be like this, we also become independent. So on Friday, we will have one extra class this week. And we'll continue with the characteristics of acharyas, upadhyas, and sadhus in common. And then we will have specific qualities of acharyas, upadhyas, and sadhus on Friday, 8:45 p.m. India time. Okay, so we'll continue till that. And next week onwards, we will start these revisions of some of the chapters of Tattva-Gyan 1 and 2 that you feel it's difficult, you have not understood it properly. And some of the chapters I've realized from your answers that you need clarity, some clarity on this. So we'll be covering those chapters from next Friday. Every week there will be no recording of this classes. So those who attend live will get the benefit. Those who don't attend, these are all optional classes. Okay. So if someone wants to attend, they are welcome. If someone does not want to attend, no issues. Okay.
Timing 8:45 to 10, no? Evening.
Yes, 8:45 to 10 every Friday. 2-3 weeks we will have some revisions of few chapters. I'll select some of them, and if you have anything in mind, you let me know. And on Friday, I will also allot you some topics for Gandhar Mulyankan. You have to summarize that whole chapter in the class itself. Now we'll be doing this in the class itself. So others can also listen. And if there are any questions, they will ask you, and you have to be ready to take down the answers. Okay. So that also I will give you on Friday. And on Friday, we'll be anyway studying the Moksha Marg Prakashak. We'll continue with Moksha Marg Prakashak. But from next Friday onwards, we will have that extra class for revisions.
Okay. So, sir,
And
this Friday you are going to record the class?
this Friday, we are going to record because we are going to study Moksha Marg Prakashak anyways.
Okay.
Right? But
So regularly you'll have Tuesday and Wednesday. Now
Yes,
they changed,
yes.
huh?
No. Regularly, we will have Tuesday and Wednesday for our this Moksha Marg Prakashak.
Acha.
But the earlier chapters that we had
Okay.
already studied,
That one, 2-3 weeks you want to do it on
yeah,
Friday.
revisions
Am I
on
correct?
Friday. Yeah. And there will be no recordings, so you have to catch up live only. Because anyways, it is revisions.
So Tuesday we are going to do 8:45, 9 or 9:15?
Tuesday we'll be doing 8:45. Wednesday we'll be doing on 9. Okay. And again on Friday, it will be 8:45, the revision classes, which are optional. Okay. So that you can announce in the group, post in the group. So those who have not attended, they can take note of it and attend accordingly.
And the coming Tuesday and Wednesday, you said you will still be doing Moksha Marg only,
Yes,
right?
that will continue. And that will be live on YouTube, and recording will also be there.
Okay.
Okay. So any questions for today? Darshit ji, are you understanding? So one thing that you should all do is, the moment you don't understand anything, you ask me then and there itself. Okay. no point in taking so much time, then you may forget also. And like help is available always, so you should ask. So asking will be your responsibility and answering will be my responsibility.
I have a question actually, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Um,
Carry on.
you mentioned something which is quite intriguing, because if you think about you saying that in a few lifetimes we will get to the stage of Arahant.
You get
How
liberated.
logic
Yeah.
behind?
So what is your question?
Yeah, so you mentioned in a number of lectures you have mentioned even in the past that in a few lifetimes, not many lifetimes, we will be able to achieve this Arahant.
Okay.
It's quite positive, but it's also a big question mark. How?
Very far. It is also very far.
So for that, I'll be conducting a session on Friday. Ask your question, So I'll be answering some part in detail uh, in that class. But for now, you're not able to believe that I can get liberated, right? In the first place, you feel that how can I get liberated? I am doing so much of sins, and my emotions are like that. My toxic emotions are like that. So how can I get purified and get liberated? That's a question. This is a very common question with all people, because we relate to our present modifications only, right? But in actuality, these modifications have a duration of 1 moment only, right? It comes and goes. It never sticks, because the duration is 1 moment only. So the next moment it goes. And I am something which is always present, which is always eternal. There is no birth and death of mine. So I am that pure soul. So if you establish yourself, if you establish your identity with that pure soul, then you will not feel that you cannot get liberated. You will always feel that why I'm wandering in the this mundane existence. You will feel that way. When I have the full potential to get liberated, I have that same potential of manifesting all these qualities that I have. Then why I'm not doing it? The question is why I'm not doing it. Now you have a capacity to, you have a bank balance of 1 crore rupees, example, right? And still you are begging. So somebody would ask you that if you have 1 crore rupees in your bank and why you are still begging, then what would you say? What would be your answer? You tell me.
It's to do with greed. You're wanting to collect more and more.
No, not that, not that. You never realize that you have 1 crore in bank. That's why you are begging, no? Otherwise, why would you beg? Right? You might do some business, that is different thing. But why should you beg in the first place? You are
Right.
yourself capable. You are a crorepati, right? But if you don't believe yourself to be a crorepati, then you have to beg. If you don't realize that you have enough wealth for this birth, then you have to keep on working, right? So this is something that the soul is born to get liberated. It's simply like that. We are born to get liberated. This is the opportunity that we have got to realize ourselves. And once we realize ourselves, the journey of liberation starts. Okay. Once the journey starts, then it's definitely the journey is going to get end and you will get liberated. So this is the story in a nutshell. But if you want to understand it, how it is possible, the technology going behind it, then you wait till Friday. I'll be taking that topic in that particular discussion. because still we are better off. I have taken that example of a hellish being, Narki. In spite of so many adversaries, he's still attaining Samyak Darshan there. And he's not only attaining Samyak Darshan, he is enjoying that spiritual bliss also. Simultaneously, same time. The time he is getting inflicted on him, the pains that that is getting from other Narki jeeves, same time, he is not experiencing that pain. He is experiencing the eternal bliss. How this is possible? So we are in a very better position. Even Narki can do it. So why we cannot do it? So it's going to be a big inspiration for all of us. And if you understand that concept, then you will get part answer of this question also.
So is this going to be in the Friday evening class, or is that the earlier class?
No, it is according to India time, it is 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Ask your question, that group, ask
Yes.
your question.
Yes.
So, of course, that will be in Hindi. So again, you have to stretch yourself and understand Hindi little bit, But one thing I feel that wherever you reside across the globe, but those who are Indians, those who have a rooting with Indians, they all understand Hindi. Right? They
True.
all see Bollywood movies. They all see OTT serials and other serials, So you cannot say that I am not understanding Hindi. At least for the sake of understanding this Tattva Gyan. Otherwise, if you say I don't understand Bollywood movies, I don't mind. So you may say that I don't understand. You may not be comfortable talking Hindi, but at least understanding part you can always make out. Because it is similar to Gujarati. So Gujarati and Hindi, there is hardly any difference, So I think you can make out and you should try.
Okay, thank you.
With few attempts, you will also be able to understand Hindi, at least for your own self-development. That's all. We are not going to write a scripture on Hindi, right? In Hindi language, but at least we can understand the important concepts, because in English there is very limited material that is available right now. Of course, it's going to get better and better as we go ahead, because many people like you are now comfortable in English. So there are a lot of activities happening on that front, but it's still going to take some time. So I would say that this is all ready-made. In Hindi, it is all ready-made. You have all the scriptures and all the concepts, everything. And the other day I was listening to your LCPA, Aditi ji. You answered the first question in English and then the other two in Hindi. Right? So I was wondering why you are talking in Hindi. So then I realized, because it is very natural for all of us, we know Hindi, so it comes out naturally. When you want to express something which you cannot express in English. So this problem will always be there with English, but nevertheless, with practice and proper exposure, you will have similar experience with English also. But the Hindi comes naturally to you, that I realized. So yesterday I was listening to your LCPA, and I have something to talk to you about that also. But today again I thought I will listen once more, and then I will point out particularly where you went wrong, So today it was not opening. So I think WhatsApp some durations for some days that the messages keep
Yes, sir. Jai
open up.
Jinendra. I did get the chance to check my phone. I will send it to you immediately after
Yes,
class.
no problem. No problem.
Don't realize.
So we'll discuss something on that, and some other I may not remember the slight mistakes here and there with everybody. So that's why I'm taking these revision classes. At least these are all very fundamental chapters like Char Abhav and Nimit Upadan and all, you have to understand it very, very deeply and correctly. There can be no compromise on this concept clarities. Okay. So we'll be having one more revision of this important chapters. And anyways, if you are not comfortable till, then again I will repeat those chapters. So these Friday classes will go on until and unless you are satisfied with the clarity, okay, of those chapters that we have previously read, okay, in the semester 2, Tattvagyan 1 and 2. So compared to Vitrag Vigyan, of course, Tattvagyan is bit deep and difficult also. So you have to put in little more efforts, okay? Efforts in terms of you have to read the textbook once again, and particularly when you answer, you should revisit those chapters where the questions have come from and never overestimate, right? So, okay, it's good that like you are making few mistakes here and there, so I can just correct it. And once you realize some vulnerable area where you are prone to making mistakes, you will not repeat those mistakes. I do understand. Okay, Darshit ji, you got your answer?
Yeah, thank you.
And
I'm looking forward to the
some part you
answering.
will get on Friday. Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else having any questions? Okay. So we'll close. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार। 9 बार नौकार मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जिनेंद्र।